A 4.5 hour muleback ride through the mountains. I mean, we went through what was rainforest. I mean, it was just incredible.
Mayan Winds is a coffee company based out of Chiapas, Mexico, with roots in the migrant workers movement in California's Central Valley. Two brothers, Juan and Fernando Lorea, are the primary operators of this ambitious company. Growing up, the brothers got a first-hand view of the struggle for migrant workers' rights and an appreciation for hard work.
My father participated with the Cesar Chavez movement. He was actually one of the leaders in the Salinas Valley. It was mostly passive resistance, although sometimes it resulted in a little more than that, but it was definitely a struggle, and it was a 10-year struggle.
Before long, they too were in the fields, learning values that would last them a lifetime.
And at a very young age, we were already, being taught to work on the weekends.
Probably 5 to 10 years old at the time, growing up in the fields. Even though as my father transitioned into construction, instilled into us, he said that we had to learn what the value of a dollar was. And in doing so, we had to learn how to earn it. And that meant for us at that young age, was working in the fields. We'd buy our own school clothes.
Juan would join his father on protests and would later join organizations that focused on human dignity and civil rights.
It was always work in order so that you could always have that motivation to do things, better things for yourself. A really good friend of mine that participated with the National Council for la Raza, Luis, Ángel Viniegra, who was a friend of mine since the 70s, older gentleman, advised me of a thesis that was being written by a young lady named Cristel Maya Guzman. And she actually went and lived in Chiapas in 1994 when the uprising occurred. When I was reading it, I thought it was a beautiful and very interesting story. And we started thinking about, well, what could we do? How would you help someone like this? We came to the conclusion that we should take a ride down there.
The uprising had brought progress, but the real work of overcoming centuries of mistrust, abuse, and profiteering remained largely undone.
Walking through these communities, way up in the highlands, in different parts of not just Chiapas, Oaxaca, and Veracruz, and Jalisco, we found ourselves walking through these coffee patches. And why would these people be so poor? And I said, what do they have? And I knew nothing about coffee. I started doing some research, and I said, well, coffee is like the second most traded commodity in the world. It generates over $18 billion in the United States. And I started looking at it, well, these people have these little access to these I don't want to say gold mines, but there is a mechanism for empowerment here.
What he found was a system of exploitation and collusion between the Mexican government, corrupt government officials, and transnational coffee companies to undermine the value and profits of the small indigenous farmers.
We came to the conclusion that that was the best thing we could do for the people. Get down and organize it into co-ops, corporate entities, give them the training, get them on the organic path, because we know what the dangers were of chemicals, because we experienced it, we lived it. We understood that the people, the big corporations, the transnationals, they have no concern or care for the people.
As Mayan Winds began to take shape, Juan invited his brother in to assist with the next stages of growing the company as an international business. So
I took a flight down to Veracruz, spent about a month there. I came back just elated. I was glowing with, of the possibilities, of things that I saw there. We're going to be on the map for coffee. We're going to be, Mayan Winds is going to be a company to be reckoned with.
The addition of Fernando's business experience as well as his networking abilities would lead the brothers to Sean McDonald of Calgary-based Joffy's Coffee.
We coordinated a meeting place in Corpus Christi and shared the information that I had in regards to the people and stuff that we're doing. And it all started there. And we sold our first 30 bags of green bean coffee over the Matamoros, Brownsville, Texas border.
McDonald was impressed with Juan and Fernando's passion and drive to provide an economic engine for the indigenous people of southern Mexico. Before long, he and partner Jeff Ferris became investors in the vision.
Actually giving us money, and we buy the coffee and send it. And having been in the coffee business, being a roast master, we started developing this this business plan where the farmers are an integral part of the total picture, where they're our business partners.
In a perfect world, where do you see this And 10 years, what do you see the company being?
I see us being not just in coffee. Next year, we're planning to add organic honey from our very same coffee farmers. They produce their own honey. We have cacao, allspice, pepper. We got to get our degree, our master's degree per se, with the coffee. And once we know that and we master that, which is the #1 commodity that we have access to, I think the rest will just fall in place. And all of our farmers are happy and enthused about that part, that this is going to be continually growing. After having a 12-year record for them, of course, they believe that we're going to be there for the long haul. And we are there for the long haul. But if we pull them in, provide them that education and training and added value certifications and different avenues and options like every human being deserves, we feel that would be something that other people could adopt and pull them in as your business partners. And they will respond. They've been responding for us, and we feel that it's going to be something that is going to continue to grow.